We are skipping the pleasantries today because the house is already on fire, and the people inside are arguing about which channel to watch on television. We need to talk about the fatal bug in our economic operating system. You look at the economy today, the stock tickers hitting record highs, the quarterly reports, and you see success. I am looking at the thermodynamic reality, and I see a system in a state of advanced cannibalism. What you call stability is actually stagnation masquerading as health. We are currently consuming our own infrastructure, our social cohesion, and our future resources just to maintain the illusion of the present. It is not a feature of capitalism anymore. It is a fatal error code.
Hold on, you can't just start by telling everyone their reality is an illusion. I drove here today on a paved road. I stopped and bought a coffee with a tap of my phone. The lights in this studio are on. The stores are full of food. You're using words like cannibalism and fatal bug. But to the average person, to me, and to everyone listening, this looks like a system that works. It provides daily survival. People are eating. How can you look at a machine that feeds billions of people every single day and call it a total failure?
You are confusing the residual momentum of the machine with its functional health. You are looking at the dashboard of a car doing 80 miles an hour and assuming everything is fine. I am looking at the engine block, which is currently fusing together because we stopped changing the oil 20 years ago to save money. The car is moving because of physical momentum, not because the engine is still generating new sustainable power.
But the car is moving. That is the only metric that matters. If the engine was broken, we would be stopped on the side of the road. We aren't. We are growing. Look at global poverty reduction over the last 50 years.
We are not growing. We are bloating. We need to audit the mechanism itself. This brings us to the core analysis, specifically the Marxist diagnostic. I am not talking about the political movement. I am talking about the system analyst. Marx identified a specific algorithmic loop. Money into commodity into more money. G, W, G prime. The entire operating system is designed to execute this loop infinitely.
And it works. That loop is the exact incentive structure that built the modern world. It is why we have iPhones and electric cars and mRNA vaccines. People want to turn $1 into $2, so they invent things. That is not a bug. That is the engine of human innovation.
It is a fatal bug because of the second law of thermodynamics. The formula GWG prime assumes that the commodity phase, the part where you extract physical materials from the earth to sell, draws from an infinite well of energy and resources. It assumes the earth is an open system with infinite inputs, but we live on a finite planet. The bug is that the operating system cannot calculate zero. It tries to execute an infinite loop on a finite stick of RAM.
Well, that sounds like abstract philosophy. We have been hearing about finite resources for, 50 years? The oil is running out, the population bomb is going to explode. But look at the digital economy. We created trillions of dollars of value out of pure code, zero physical resources. We decoupled economic growth from the physical world. Doesn't that completely disprove your thermodynamic failure theory?
That is the greatest mathematical lie of the modern era. The cloud is not a cloud. It is a physical network of massive server farms generating immense heat, consuming gigawatts of electricity, and requiring millions of gallons of fresh water for cooling. Bitcoin mining consumes more energy than entire industrialized nations. AI models require staggering amounts of rare earth metals for their GPUs. There is no such thing as immaterial wealth. Every single dollar of digital value is tethered to a burning lump of coal or a dammed river somewhere in the physical world. Capitalism won historically, not because it defies physics, but because it is a superior information processing system.
Okay, I will grant you that. It processes information better than central planning. The Soviets couldn't figure out the price of bread. The market can. That is exactly why they failed and we won. So if we have the best information processor, won't the market just price in the scarcity? If copper gets rare, the price goes up and we find a substitute.
The market is efficient at processing price, but it is entirely blind to cost.
Those are the same thing.
They are entirely different metrics. The price is what you pay at the register. The cost is the physical energy, the entropy, and the ecological destruction required to put the item on the shelf. For the last century, we have kept prices artificially low by externalizing the costs. We did not pay for the carbon emitted. We did not pay for the topsoil degradation. We did not pay for the exhausted aquifers. We treated those as free inputs. Now, the physical reality of a closed system is issuing a margin call. The information processing system is failing because the data it was fed, the assumption that resources are free and infinite, was mathematically false.
You talk about margin calls and false data, but I am looking at the scoreboard. Winning is the only thing that matters in the real world. If communism failed and capitalism survived, then capitalism is the only valid operating system we have. If things were truly scarce, if we were really hitting a physical wall, they would be too expensive to buy. But I can go to the supermarket right now and buy a loaf of bread for a few dollars. Since I can buy it, the system works. The shelf is full.
The shelf is full because we are looting the future to stock it today. You claim the price mechanism works. I am telling you the price you are paying is a subsidized hallucination. Let us examine the green inflation phenomenon. This is the audit. This is the wolf finally arriving at the door.
Oh, please. The wolf. People have been saying the end is nigh for 20 years. I mean, I remember reading these exact same doom and gloom predictions in 2006. The oil is peaking, the ice is melting, the markets are going to crash, and here we are. The S&P 500 is at an all-time high. We are still here. It feels exactly like the boy who cried wolf. Why should I believe the wolf is here now just because you say the math has changed?
The wolf has arrived. It simply took 20 years to cross the physical distance between the source of the extraction and your doorstep. Consider a cheap cotton t-shirt you bought in 2006 for $5. Why was it $5? Because we shipped the cotton from a region where water was legally classified as free while they were violently draining a prehistoric aquifer. We sewed it in a jurisdiction with zero labor reproduction costs. We shipped it on a vessel burning bunker fuel with a zero carbon tax. We stole resources from 2026 to make 2026 feel prosperous.
So we got a good deal. That is global efficiency.
That was theft from our future selves. Look at 2026. That aquifer is dry, so the regional cotton crop failed. The labor reproduction costs have manifested as social collapse in the producing nations. And now we face carbon border adjustment mechanisms, taxes on the actual pollution. The price of that shirt is skyrocketing, not because of government policy, but because the physical bill has come due. When you go to the grocery store today, you are not paying for current economic growth. You are paying back the resource debt we stole from ourselves 2 decades ago.
So wait, you're saying inflation isn't just the central banks printing too much money. You're saying it's environmental payback?
These are not anomalous bad weather events. They are the physical manifestation of the carbon debt we accrued to maintain the illusion of cheap goods. The system can no longer hide the thermodynamic cost of its own operation.
I come at it from a completely different angle. You are talking about crop failures and carbon taxes, but I am looking at the GDP. I am looking at corporate profits. These are objective numbers. They show health. If the system was literally eating itself, as you claim, wouldn't the macroeconomic numbers be going down? You can't just wave away global GDP growth.
Those numbers are fake signals. It is maintenance fraud on a planetary scale. Let us use a factory metaphor. Imagine you manage a manufacturing plant. You want to show a massive, record-breaking profit this quarter. What do? You stop repairing the machines. You fire the safety inspectors. You stop fixing the roof. For 5 years, your profits will skyrocket because your maintenance costs are zero. Your micro GDP, your profit line, looks incredible. But physically, the factory is rusting shut.
That is a hypothetical business case. Give me a concrete example in the real economy.
Infrastructure debt. Look at the physical decay of bridges, tunnels, and municipal water networks across the developed world. We have spent 4 decades intentionally not fixing them to keep taxes low and stock prices high. We cannibalized the physical infrastructure to feed the quarterly earnings report. We counted the liquidation of social assets as income, and the cannibalism goes deeper. We are now cannibalizing the human infrastructure.
Human infrastructure? What, you mean labor?
I mean the biological and psychological ability of the workforce to physically function and reproduce. We have driven down real wages and hollowed out care structures to boost corporate margins. The result is a workforce that is burnt out, chronically sick, and mathematically unable to afford to have children. But the stock market celebrates this as efficiency. The market is measuring the rate of extraction, not the health of the host.
Look, even if I accept that the bridges are rusty and the workers are tired, let's talk about how a normal person responds to this, because this is where your theory hits a massive wall. The listener feels this anxiety. They know something is wrong with the world, but their response isn't to overthrow the economic system. It's to save money. I need to save money to protect my family. If the world is dangerous, if the bridges are crumbling, it is perfectly rational for me to hoard assets. It's rational for me to want my portfolio to go up so I can build a wall against that chaos.
That is the survival instinct trap, and it is the mechanism that accelerates the fatal bug. What is rational for you, the individual, is suicide for the macro system. It is the ultimate synthesis of fallacy.
How on earth can saving money be suicide? That is basic financial literacy. You save for a rainy day.
Because money in a functional circular economy must act as a flow, not a clot. It must transport energy to where structural repairs are needed. Right now, individuals are terrified, so they are hoarding the blood of the system. Think of it like a catastrophic fire in a city. You are a firefighter. Instead of hooking your hose to the municipal hydrant to put out the fire that is consuming the neighborhood, you are filling up your own bathtub with water to save it for your family.
Well, if the city is burning down, I absolutely want water in my bathtub. I need to drink. I need to protect my kids. That's just biology.
You feel safe because your bathtub is full. You look at that water, which represents your financial savings, and you think you have secured survival. But the fire is burning down the city's water treatment plant. It is melting the underground pipes. Eventually, the fire reaches your house. The ambient heat rises. The water in your tub boils. You will die of thirst next to a tub full of boiling water because you tried to hoard the symbol of value instead of maintaining the physical system that sustains the value.
That's terrifying. But you are asking people to act completely against their own survival instinct. You are asking me to throw my water on a fire that I didn't start, just hoping that everyone else does the exact same thing? That is a classic prisoner's dilemma. I am not going to be the sucker who loses everything trying to save a system that is already rigged. I would rather take my chances with the bathtub.
And that exact psychological response is why the collapse is mathematically inevitable. That micro-rationality drives the macro-suicide. You are furiously clutching a paper scorecard while the stadium burns to the ground.
I just don't buy that the stadium is burning down. Not yet. If things were truly that fundamentally broken, we would feel it more viscerally in our daily lives. We can still eat. The tipping point you keep alluding to just hasn't happened. I can still go buy a burger. I can still fill my gas tank. It might be 10% more expensive than it was, but the gas is there. If the system was truly cannibalizing itself to death, wouldn't the shelves actually be empty? Wouldn't the water stop running?
You are failing to understand the physics of phase transitions. You are relying on a linear expectation in a non-linear physical world. You think collapse is a slope. It is not. It is a cliff. Consider the physics of boiling water. You heat water to 98 degrees Celsius. It looks exactly like water at 20 degrees. It is liquid, it flows. You heat it to 99 degrees, it is still liquid. It behaves the exact same way. It is only at 100 degrees that it undergoes a sudden phase transition and turns to steam. It changes state entirely, without warning.
And you think our economy is at 99 degrees?
We are vibrating at the threshold. Look at EROI, energy return on investment. This is the fundamental, unforgiving physics of any economy. Forget dollars, look at energy extraction. 100 years ago, you spent 1 barrel of oil's worth of energy to dig up 100 barrels. That is a massive thermodynamic surplus. That surplus is what built the global middle class, the skyscrapers, the aviation industry, the internet. It was incredibly easy, dense energy.
And we still have oil. We have fracking, we have the tar sands, we have deep sea drilling. We are producing more barrels today than ever before.
But look at the extraction cost. We are now cooking tar sands and drilling 3 miles under the ocean floor. We are spending 1 barrel of energy to get barely 5 barrels back. The net surplus is vanishing. We are running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same place. It is the Red Queen effect. If you're a hunter-gatherer and you spend 100 calories to catch a rabbit that gives you 500 calories, you thrive. If you spend 500 calories to catch a rabbit that gives you 500 calories, you are mathematically starving to death while actively eating. The global economy is currently starving while eating. We are hiding this energy starvation with fiat debt. We print financial symbols to mask the fact that the physical work of survival is getting exponentially harder.
So the global debt bubble is just papering over the fact that the easy physical resources are completely gone.
We are dancing on the deck of the Titanic. The passengers were dancing, drinking, and listening to the band moments before the iceberg hit. The food was excellent. The normalcy bias is a psychological defense mechanism. It is not a survival strategy. Just because the lights are on in this studio does not mean the power plant isn't melting down. You're assuming that because the collapse hasn't happened yet today, it won't happen tomorrow. That is the exact logic of a turkey the day before Thanksgiving. The farmer has fed me every day for a year, therefore the farmer must love me.
Look, I want to push back on this. I really do. I want to sit here and tell you that human ingenuity is infinite, that technology will save us, that fusion power is just around the corner. But I admit, I am struggling to find a logical, data-driven counter-argument to the physics of EROI. But I have an emotional argument. And frankly, I think it is the only one that matters to the people listening right now.
State the argument.
Even if you are completely right, even its domain is empty and the thermodynamic surplus is gone, I cannot accept it. Because if I accept it, I have to change my entire life. I have to accept that my savings are fake, that my future plans are gone, that my kids will not have it better than I did. And people simply won't do that. People will not change their behavior until the disaster physically hits them in the face. We are wired by evolution to react to immediate physical pain, not to long-term data models. As long as today I can eat, then today I will not worry about the aquifer. You can call it a fatal bug in the operating system, but that is human nature. We will not notice the water is gone until we turn the tap and nothing comes out. We will chase that fake GDP right off the edge of the cliff.
I am not here to offer you emotional comfort. I am here to deliver the results of the audit. You are correct about human psychology. The public will not wake up until the physical violence of the collapse occurs. They will not react until the grocery shelves are physically empty, until the hyperinflation makes the hoarded money in your bathtub completely worthless.
So we are just waiting for the crash. Is that your grand conclusion? Just give up and wait for the end?
My conclusion is a directive to stop investing in a mathematically doomed illusion. We are currently experiencing the silence before the entropy backflow hits. The accumulation of money under the current linear system is now a distressed asset. It is a guaranteed failure. The only rational investment for physical survival is the immediate transition to circular capitalism, an operating system that treats capital as energy for planetary repair and resource circulation, rather than a scorecard for finite plunder. The mine is empty. You're just digging in the rubble. The only way out is to close the loop.